Fake HOA tried billing a vet $6,200 just for a ramp built for his service dog. Why would someone charge a wounded veteran thousands for a simple act of kindness? In the quiet suburb of Willow Creek, a single invoice sparked a firestorm. Karen Whitaker, the self-appointed queen of the local HOA, stood at the center of it all, clutching a $6,200 bill she'd slapped on Marcus Tate, a retired Marine sergeant. The reason? A wooden ramp built for Marcus's service dog, Scout, who helped him navigate life after losing his leg in Afghanistan. The ramp, a modest structure meant to ease Scout's access to the vet clinic, was no architectural marvel, just a few planks and nails. Yet Karen, with her manicured nails and a smirk that could curdle milk, claimed it was an unauthorized modification that required premium oversight fees. The neighborhood buzzed with outrage, but Karen didn't flinch. She thrived on control, and Marcus, with his quiet demeanor and wheelchair, seemed like an easy target. Marcus wasn't one to beg. He'd faced worse than Karen's petty tyranny: mortars, ambushes, and months of grueling rehab. But this was personal. Scout, a golden retriever with soulful eyes, wasn't just a dog. He was Marcus's lifeline, waking him from nightmares and steadying him through panic attacks. The ramp had been a gift from Dr. Elena Ruiz, the vet who'd cared for Scout since he was a pup. Elena, a no-nonsense woman with a soft spot for veterans, had rallied volunteers to build it in a single weekend. No permits, no fuss, just neighbors helping neighbors. Karen, however, saw an opportunity. She stormed into the vet clinic, waving her HOA rulebook like a holy relic, demanding payment for structural violations and administrative costs. Marcus handed the invoice while Scout nuzzled his hand, felt his blood boil. He wasn't just being fleeced. He was being humiliated. The truth unraveled faster than Karen expected. Elena, who'd overheard Karen's tirade, wasn't about to let this slide. She dug into the HOA's records, her fingers flying across her laptop as she cross-checked bylaws and permits. What she found was dynamite. Karen had no legal authority to enforce fees for the ramp. The vet clinic's property wasn't even under HOA jurisdiction. It sat on county land. Karen's invoice was a bluff, a power grab dressed up as bureaucracy. But Elena didn't stop there. She posted a photo of the invoice on the neighborhood's online forum, tagging every resident she knew. The caption was simple: "Karen's trying to scam a veteran. Who's with me?" By morning, the post had exploded, racking up hundreds of comments. Neighbors who'd long grumbled about Karen's reign of terror, her fines for unapproved flower beds, her lectures on mailbox colors, finally had a cause to rally behind. Enter an unexpected ally. Tim, the local hardware store owner and a former HOA treasurer. Tim had quit the board years ago after clashing with Karen over her creative accounting. He'd kept quiet, tired of the drama, but Elena's post lit a spark. Tim showed up at the clinic with a bombshell: bank statements from Karen's HOA account, which he'd saved as a precaution. The numbers didn't lie. Karen had been siphoning funds for personal use: spa trips, a new patio, even a designer purse, while claiming they were community expenses. The ramp fee, Tim suspected, was her latest attempt to cover her tracks. Armed with this, Elena and Marcus called a public meeting at the community center, inviting every resident to hear the truth. Karen, caught off guard, strutted in with her usual bravado, expecting to bully her way out. She didn't know the storm that was coming. The meeting was a powder keg. Marcus spoke first, his voice steady but laced with pain. He held up the invoice, describing how it felt to be targeted for needing help. Scout lay at his feet, ears perked, as if sensing the room's tension. Elena followed, laying out the evidence: the fake jurisdiction, the inflated fees, the HOA's murky finances. Tim's bank statements, projected on a screen, drew gasps from the crowd. Karen, cornered, tried to spin it. "This is a misunderstanding," she snapped, her face reddening. "I'm protecting property values." But the residents weren't buying it. A retired teacher stood up, recounting how Karen had fined her for a birdhouse. A young dad shared how she'd threatened to lean his home over a basketball hoop. The room erupted, voices overlapping in a chorus of fury. Karen's smirk faltered, her hands trembling as she clutched her purse. Then came the breaking point. Outside the community center, someone had propped a wooden sign against a tree, its handwritten message scrawled in black marker. Karen's $6,200 vet scam busted. The crowd spilled into the parking lot, drawn to the collapsed ramp Karen had vilified. It was a mess, splinters everywhere, nails jutting out, a symbol of her greed. Marcus rolled forward, Scout at his side, and spoke quietly but firmly. "This isn't about a ramp. It's about right and wrong." The crowd roared, chanting for Karen's resignation. She tried to flee, shoving through the throng, but tripped over a loose plank from her own violating ramp. The irony wasn't lost on anyone. Karen, sprawled in the dirt, her designer heels scuffed, looked small for the first time. The HOA board, pressured by the uproar, voted her out that night. An audit was ordered, and whispers of legal action followed. Karen's fall was swift. Within weeks, she'd sold her house, unable to face the neighbors' glares. The HOA, under new leadership, waived all frivolous fines and rebuilt the ramp properly, this time with permits and pride. Marcus, though scarred by the ordeal, found peace in the community's support. Scout, ever loyal, bounded up the new ramp with a wagging tail, as if claiming victory. Elena and Tim, unlikely heroes, became local legends, their bond forged in the fight for justice. The neighborhood felt lighter, as if a shadow had lifted. Marcus, speaking at a small ceremony for the ramp's unveiling, said it best. "Sometimes, doing what's right means standing up, even when it's hard." His words hung in the air, a quiet call to action. What would you have done in Marcus's shoes? Was Karen's punishment fair? Or did she deserve more? Share your thoughts. Let's talk about what justice really means.